This presentation provides an overview of the improvements coming to New Westminster Drive in Thornhill. The city is undertaking important municipal infrastructure improvements on New Westminster Drive from Clark Avenue to Bathurst Street, approximately 2 kilometers. In 2021, the city completed cycle tracks on Clark Avenue from west of Dufferin Street to Yonge Street. The next phase is adding cycle tracks on New Westminster to connect to those on Clark Avenue, as well as to key destinations such as St. Elizabeth High School and Westmount Collegiate Institute, to provide a continuous network of cycling facilities for all ages and abilities. The plan also includes replacing aging assets in the area that are nearing the end of their life cycle, such as street lighting and road pavement surface. The project includes replacing segments of sidewalk in localized areas and upgrading crossings to meet accessibility standards, constructing in-boulevard cycling facilities on both sides of New Westminster, upgrading 10 transit stops with new bus pads, a new signalized mid-block crossing at Katarina Avenue, upgrading existing mid-block crossings at St. Elizabeth High School and Westmount Collegiate Institute, upgrading 2 signalized intersections on New Westminster at Brownridge West Promenade and at Beverly Glen, replacing street lighting, and road resurfacing. The project design is well underway and scheduled to be completed in early 2023. Construction is scheduled to be starting in the spring of 2023 with construction planned to the end of summer 2024. The improvements on New Westminster support a number of city and regional policies and plans like the Official Plan, Transportation Master Plan, Pedestrian and Bicycle Master Plan, and Move Smart Mobility Management Strategy. Cycling is an important element of the city's transportation system. Design guidance has been taken from best practices like Ontario Traffic Manual Book 18 and York Region's Pedestrian Cycling Planning and Design Guidelines to meet an all ages and abilities design standard. New Westminster is identified in the City of Vaughan's Pedestrian and Bicycle Master Plan as a local cycling route, shown in blue. The cycling network in this area is becoming increasingly more connected with other projects on Centre Street, Atkinson, Hilda, and New Westminster to the south, also in various stages of planning and design. This image shows the project area with the north direction being to the left of the screen. There are a number of key destinations such as schools, parks, retail, commercial, and significant residential density in the area. The improvements on New Westminster Drive will promote walking, cycling, and transit use, reduce potential conflicts between pedestrians, cyclists, and vehicles, and improve safety, renew aging infrastructure, and support daily community life and events. York Region Transit operates Route 3 along New Westminster Drive and to and from Promenade Circle. There are 10 transit stops within the project limits. Existing motor vehicle lanes range in width on New Westminster Drive. There's a posted speed varying between 40 kilometers per hour in school zones up to 50 kilometers per hour. There are 2 mid-block pedestrian crossings where lane markings are not present. And on-street parking is currently permitted at certain times and locations on New Westminster Drive. Currently, there are no dedicated cycling facilities on New Westminster. Cyclists must ride on the street with fast-moving traffic, or some may choose to ride on the sidewalk, which negatively impacts the pedestrian experience. There are dedicated cycling facilities in the boulevard on Clark Avenue, Bathurst Street, and Centre Street. These are at the same level as the sidewalk and are called cycle tracks. There are continuous sidewalks on both sides of New Westminster. Crossings are not fully compliant with the current accessibility standards. Now that we've looked at the existing conditions, I'll share with you what is proposed as part of the improvements. One-way cycle tracks are proposed on both sides of New Westminster, very similar to what was implemented on Clark Avenue, shown here. This provides separated space from both motor vehicles and pedestrians for cyclists. A buffer will also be provided from the curb to the cycle track for additional comfort. At intersections, crossroads will be added next to crosswalks to accommodate cyclist crossings. At the Brown Ridge West Promenade intersection, where there's a connection with a collector road, the crossings will be set back from the roadway. At Beverly Glen, a local street, the crossing will be adjacent to the roadway, like the example shown on the right. There are a few areas where the curb will be slightly shifted inward and the travel lanes narrowed to allow for more boulevard space. The motor vehicle lanes are currently wider than necessary, and this will bring them to a width that better supports the posted travel speeds. It also helps accommodate the cycle tracks to be added in the boulevard while minimizing impacts to utilities and trees. An intersection pedestrian signal will be added at Catarina to accommodate a new controlled crossing of New Westminster for pedestrians and cyclists. The 10 bus stops within the project limits will be upgraded and some amenities added. What gets installed at a stop, such as a bench, shelter, and garbage receptacle, is determined by York Region Transit based on stop location and site constraints. Existing lighting is reaching the end of its useful life and will be upgraded, and in some cases, new poles added to satisfy lighting requirements. The roadway will be resurfaced for the full length, and in some areas where curbs are shifted, more extensive construction is required. A full tree inventory has been completed, which assessed the health of 645 trees along the corridor. A significant effort has been made by the designers to reduce the tree impacts to only 129 trees, 50 of which are due to the trees already being in poor health, and 79 due to design impacts. Tree planting opportunities will replace and enhance the tree canopy in the long term. This includes planting 3 trees for every tree removed. The project is nearing the end of the design phase, and construction is anticipated to start next spring. Residents will be notified of project updates and lane closures through various city channels like newsletters, social media, and construction signage. Thank you for your interest in the improvements to New Westminster Drive. If you have any questions or comments, I encourage you to contact the city's Infrastructure Delivery Office at the phone number or email address shown on the screen.